Welcome to Take a Break with Steve and Nate. Happy National Meatball Day, my new favorite holiday. Today, we have a scrap or crap with a twist and a new segment from yours truly. Now, without further filler, let's get started.
Alright, so first up we have Steel Justice. Steel Justice is about a cop and his child, who he takes on a drug bust with him, and the child is then killed. And then the child is reincarnated as a toy robot dinosaur who can grow into full dino size when his dad's in trouble with the bad guys. That is Steel Justice. The second is called The Mini Star. Being called to ministry, Dwayne, a short man, graduates from college and finds his first job as a minister at a local church. After a video of him preaching in costume on Halloween goes viral, he decides to use his newfound fame to get his message of God out to a larger audience. That is The Mini Star. Now, Nate, I'm not going to say much about either of those because I want to see which one you think is the scrap and which one's the crap.
There's too much real life in The Mini Star.
Explain.
Well, don't you have a buddy named Dwayne that's in ministry?
His name's Wayne, not Dwayne.
Fair point. Sorry, Wayne. You're gonna give me grief for that. I know it.
It's fine. He'll be fine.
Okay, well, that was where I went first, though, was I thought that you made up a story about Wayne.
That is fantastic. Is that your final answer?
I'll go with Mini Star is crap, and that the one about the boy turning into a giant dinosaur is scrap.
Well, folks, for the first time in Scrap of Crap history, Nate is right. Mini Star is one that I wrote, and Steel Justice is a for real TV show pilot about a cop and his son who died on a drug bust and is reincarnated as a toy dinosaur. I wish I could make this crap up, guys. I do, because this is gold. This is chef kiss gold. I have so many questions about Steel Justice. I really do. Why is this child with his father at a drug bust? Like, was this take your child to work day gone wrong?
I mean, there's really nothing to say on that one. I've never personally done a ride along, so I can't say whether or not it's normal to take someone onto a drug bust for that.
So yeah, that's Steel Justice. Now, the thing that really pushed it over the edge for me was that, not that he gets reincarnated as this toy dinosaur, but then he can then grow to a full-size dinosaur when his dad is in trouble. I'm imagining this child is like 7 or 8, around that age, and is then suddenly dies and is now a toy dinosaur.
My question is this toy dinosaur significant to the relationship between the father and the son? Was it at the drug bust?
That is a fantastic question, because I don't know. Now, I haven't been able to find a lot about Steel Justice. Only that it's terrible. It's just, it boggles me, because there's actually a movie called Steel Justice, but it's spelled different. So it's Google has a hard time distinguishing between the two, which is fantastic. All right, let's move on to our next one. All right, the next show is called Me. M-E. Me is the coming-of-age story of a young alien boy in New York City. After crash landing in Central Park, the alien boy tries to make his way in the largest city in America. With dreams of becoming a Broadway star, he assumes a new identity and a new life. And that is titled Me. The next one is titled The People. It's about a young teacher who travels to a remote area to work with an isolated community, very similar to the Amish. She notices that the students that she has have secretive behaviors, and they're not allowed to like fun, no games, no activities, nothing like that. It's very much footloose. But she soon finds out that the residents of the town, of the community, are actually a race of aliens with supernatural powers who landed there in the 1800s. And the backstory is that they used to actually use their powers out in the open, but were considered witches, and a lot of their people died. So the people that survived passed on the tradition that they're not allowed to use their powers anymore because it draws too much attention, could kill them. But the newer generation of people in their community want the ability to use their powers again. They think that rule is a little antiquated. And that is called the people.
Two very good plot lines. I will say I would watch The People. That truly sounds like something I would watch. Me sounds like something that you would watch and like just really connect with. Me is scrapped and The People is crap.
Okay, I'm going to give our listeners an opportunity right now to lock in your answer. Give you like 5 seconds, and then we're gonna find out. So if you're listening at home, lock in those answers. Which one do you think is scrap? Which one do you think is crap? All right, drum roll, please, Nate. The People is the scrap show. Me is the crap. Now,
Well done on me, sir.
thank you. I thought the whole Broadway actor thing might give it away, but apparently not. That's fine.
It was a really good tipping point, and I should have realized. Me going to Broadway. Yeah, it's all there.
I tried to make it pretty simple. But let's break this down, okay? Let's break this down. The People. Amish community, basically, made up of aliens who have supernatural powers. That right there in itself is just mind-boggling.
My question is, though, if it's an alien, is it truly supernatural powers? Because to them, it'd be natural power.
It would be. It would, unless it's like, well, no, even Superman's powers. No. See, that's tough because Superman has powers, but only on Earth. If I remember correctly, it's the sun.
Right. Anywhere there's a yellow sun.
Right. So, putting all that aside, let's start with the cast. There's one major name in this cast that put this a little over the top for me and made it a little too unbelievable. And that is the name William Shatner. As one of the Amish, as one of the aliens.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Just no.
William Shatner. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking this has got to be the cheesiest, most terrible show. It came out in 1972, the pilot did. So already its age alone, it's a little daunting. Now, who would you think would come in to direct something like this?
Steven Spielberg. Why not?
Fair assumption. But no. They got Francis Ford Coppola to direct this. And if you're not...
Are you sure this isn't crap?
I wish it was. No. This entire pilot is up on YouTube. It's like an hour and some long. It was aired as a TV movie. It was so bad, they were like, no, we're just going to air this as a TV movie. This is the one thing. We're done.
Good call.
If you're not familiar with Francis Ford Coppola out there, this is the Godfather man. This man is the reason we have the Godfather. He directed a show about Amish aliens. People, Amish aliens.
Starring William Shatner.
Starring William Shatner. I don't know where we went wrong in history that we don't get that now. Like I want that as a TV show. I really do. Like, it sounds terrible, but I want it as I've seen some terrible shows. Trust me. But this one might be the worst, and I want it.
We've talked about some terrible shows.
We have. And it's only getting started. I found a new pit of terrible today, and it's gonna be beautiful to dive into.
I'm so excited about this. So my thing on this is I can't decide if William Shatner is a great or horrible casting for it, because I know quite a few people that have met him, and every person I've ever talked to that's met him says he is a terrible human being. So I'm picturing William Shatner in this secluded civilization, the village type setup, away from society, and I could see him doing that. I cannot, however, see him leading a group of people for a common cause.
Here's the thing: it's all I can hear in my head is that classic impersonation of William Shatner, but as an Amish alien.
All right, you got me there. I'll bite.
Just all I can hear is
'Cause now I'm picturing him with just the chin strap beard.
exactly like Jebediah Shatner.
Jebediah Shatter. Wow.
I don't use technology.
But if I did, they would say that I was a witch.
My powers are beyond your comprehension. I'm not of this world. The great part is the main character is played by Kim Darby, who actually was in an episode of Star Trek with William Shatner. So it's kind of like this, hey, they're back together, except no.
So, let me present you with something here. What if this show takes place in the Star Trek universe and their spacecraft crash landed on a Earth, quote unquote, and they had Earth technology in an outdated society, and they decided just to set up this little civilization until the technology caught up with themselves?
Okay, you didn't just create this as part of this show. This is an entirely new show that I need to see. This is not the people. This is a new show we have to write.
Yes, it is.
Because I need this. This is some Doctor Who-esque stuff that I need in my life.
It would be absolutely phenomenal, and it would work really well with the canon of Star Trek if you did it right.
It would indeed. Oh my goodness, I would love this. William Shatner back as Captain Kirk.
So the next part you have to picture is William Shatner, chin strap beard, dressed as an Amish guy. I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. Don't come here on the day of my daughter's wedding and try to do this. Spring 2023, William Shatner is the Amish Godfather.
You've got it right on the nose. Amish Godfather.
What secrets lurk behind the Amish Godfather's eyes?
William Shatner is the Father.
The Father. Oh, I am sure that we are going to make somebody mad with that one.
Somebody's going to hate us. We're going to get hate comments for that one. But you know what? It's worth it because William Shatner as an Amish man. So that is this week's Scrap or Crap. I'm so glad you guys played with us today because that was phenomenal. And I don't think anything else is going to beat The People.
And the fan film that has come of it.
I know.
Spring 2023.
Be prepared, people. That fan film will be coming soon to a YouTube near you.
So, I have a segment for this week. I'm not going to promise this is going to continue, but it's at least a segment for this week. And it is called Would You Eat This? The premise behind this is I will present you with a food I personally eat or have had and see if you would eat it.
I'm going to preempt this with probably, but I'm also going to hear you out because it might be fish.
Well, I'll keep that in mind for a future episode. So, my ingredients list here. Tortilla wraps.
Okay.
Eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Butter.
All right.
Maple syrup. Apples. Espresso.
Does the espresso go in the wrap?
So this sounds like just a meal. Like you look at your plate, you have a cup of espresso and a little plate of apples, like you kind of went to Cracker Barrel or something, right?
Right.
But no, what I did was I took and I fried my eggs in butter. Not much butter, like a half a teaspoon. Not much butter, just enough not to stick to the pan.
Right.
Fried my eggs up in the butter, set them aside, put a half a cup of espresso, so 4 ounces,
Okay.
into a skillet, chopped my apples up and threw in them, let those stew for a little bit, put a little bit of maple syrup over top of those, and then I took and put the eggs and the stewed apples into a wrap and added mozzarella cheese on top.
Okay, I know I said probably, but like there's part of me that wants to say, yeah, I'd eat that. But there's also part of me is like that espresso with apples and eggs and cheese, like, are you sure?
It was amazing.
I don't doubt that. But like,
and what better way to start your day than with an espresso infused apple and egg wrap?
I think I would legitimately eat that and love it.
It truly was amazing, and I will be making it again. But I'm not sure how to top it for another one of these segments. I'll have to work on that part.
You're gonna have, because like I need more of this. This might become the Take a Break recipe book. Welcome to Take a Break's recipe page. All the weird stuff we said we eat. Here's the recipes.
There you go. I like it. I like it. So how about you, listeners? Would you eat an espresso-infused apple, egg, and cheese wrap? I have also had this for dinner.
But now you got to give it a name. You got to give it a name.
We could put a poll on our podcast for what would people name it.
There you go. We'll put it up on Twitter for people to give us their names, and the top 3 will be part of the poll.
There we go. I like it.
We're gonna have that, and then we're gonna have Shatner stew, whatever that's gonna be.
Shatner stew.
Shatner stew.
That doesn't sound good.
That sounds like I just said Shatner stew.
We just lost our family rating for this week.
We'll edit that out.
I don't know if we can. That was too good.
Oh man. Oh gosh. Okay. We need to move on because I'm gonna.
All right, and we are on to our last part of the day for our listener question this week.
This listener question comes from a good friend of the show, Scott, and Scott wants to know Coke or Pepsi. So where are we at, Nate? Coke or Pepsi?
Well, I tried Coke once, but the ice cubes kept getting stuck in my nose.
Oh.
For those of you that can't see what we're doing, I just broke Steven. Please stand by.
So the ice cubes got stuck in your nose. That's fun.
I might need to edit that part out. Who knows?
Well, family rating's already out the window.
It really is. I don't know if we're quite explicit level, but we definitely don't have that family rating at the moment.
This definitely isn't safe for kids.
If I'm honestly answering this question, though, I have to admit I have given up soda pretty much entirely, and I drink sparkling water.
Can we take, we're going to answer this question, but can we take a minute? Because when I was first diagnosed with diabetes, we found sparkling ice, which is like a sparkling water, flavored water drink.
Yeah.
At our local Kroger, and let me just say, I got addicted immediately, because it's like soda, but it's got like none of the bad stuff in it. It's just like water and flavoring. Right. And
those are good.
It's fantastic. It really is. It blew my mind, and it really actually helped the transition a lot more. Made the transition a lot easier.
So I had to give up soda because I was taking in too much caffeine during the day. I mean, I already drink coffee, and I was drinking soda on top of that, and my blood pressure was getting really out of whack. So I decided to cut soda, and same thing. I went to just straight, plain, sparkling water, and it gave me the carbonation that I was wanting. And at first, it was a little weird, because I didn't do the flavored ones like you're talking about. I just went to carbonated waters.
Oh.
Which now, though, I don't drink regular water.
You just drink carbonated. See, I can't do the carbonated. I can't do regular sparkling water. I have to have some flavor in it. Like,
get a bottle of sparkling water, just plain sparkling water, and a little bit of vanilla extract. Tastes like a cream soda.
You may have changed my mind on sparkling water.
It's amazing.
Oh.
Yeah, those syrups that there's sugar in some of those, so you have to watch those. But the coffee flavor syrups, if you take those and add them to a sparkling water, it makes an Italian soda. And if you get the ones that are sugar-free or low sugar, it's better for you there. But just the flavor options are amazing.
Ooh. I'll have to check that out, because that sounds good. My biggest thing that I had trouble with was the caffeine. Because I've had sleeping trouble for like a long time. I don't sleep well. Insomnia, it sucks. But I relied a lot when I was working on energy drinks, which is not great for your health. And since I'm diabetic, I can't have your normal Monster energy drink stuff anymore. I found these recently, and I don't know if the camera's gonna let you see this.
Zoom is legitimately blurring out the label.
Zoom said no. You can't do that.
No product placement.
What are you doing? But I'm gonna tell you what it is. This is a new energy drink that I found called Ghost. And it is 0 sugar, pure natural caffeine, and the flavor, which Zoom won't let me show you, is Warhead's sour watermelon flavor.
Oh, that's cool.
They have that, and they also have Sour Patch Kids flavors,
That's even better.
and it's zero sugar, which immediately had me hooked. Immediately.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, my recommendation for the week, go try Ghost. If you can find it.
I do have to say, I avoid all energy drink related items. The extent I do for that is my regular coffee and occasional espresso, just because my blood pressure is truly that sensitive to caffeine.
Gotcha. That's
So,
fair.
I
That's
probably
fair.
won't be trying it, but
That's
for
fair.
the listeners out there, this is not a sponsored episode, but Steven's personal recommendation.
This is not a sponsored episode, but I would like to just say that Ghost is one of the best energy drinks on the market today.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you. Now, back to the question at hand, Coke or Pepsi? Now, you don't drink soda anymore.
I don't. I do have a preference, though.
You have what's your preference?
My preference is Pepsi.
Your preference is Pepsi. Okay. Now, see, I don't know if this is like, I don't know. I grew up on Pepsi. My mom is like a Diet Pepsi fanatic.
Okay.
Like, she drank Diet Pepsi all the time, and it's honestly the way. But then I love Coke. Don't take that out of context, any listeners. Don't clip this. I don't need that floating around on the internet.
I'll do that for you. Don't worry.
Stephen Warner loves Coke. I do. I love Coke, but Pepsi just does some stuff better. Wild Cherry Pepsi.
Oh, absolutely.
Better than Cherry Coke. But I am also diabetic, so I can't have the full sugar stuff anymore. And in that regard, I'm gonna have to go with Coke.
Yeah,
Pepsi.
the I don't do diet. I can't stand the flavor of a diet soda. But the Coke Zero versus Pepsi, I don't know if it's Pepsi Zero or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
It definitely, the Coke version definitely tastes better than the Pepsi
Oh,
version.
most definitely. And Coke is actually the only one of the two that I know of that has like a zero sugar cherry flavor as well, which phenomenal. So
There you go. See, get your Coke that you like, your Pepsi that you like, and add your own cherry flavoring. See, start making your own stuff. I'm doing this whole thing. I'm gonna start throwing recipes out at people, and we're gonna let people have their own way of making things.
I got a new thing for next week that I'm gonna try.
Okay.
And I'll let you all know how it is, but I'm gonna get me some sparkling water, and I'm gonna get one of the Mios, those
Yes.
flavors that you can put in drinks. I'm gonna do that with some sparkling water.
It's
And
amazing.
see, is it?
It is
Oh
amazing.
my gosh, I'm legitimately excited for this because this is opening up some new stuff. Oh man, being diabetic really limits what you can have.
You know, kind of something I've seen with my blood pressure issues along that line is that when I first started having those problems and the doctor telling me different things about it, I was like, man, this is gonna limit me on so much what I can do and everything. But then as I got into it, I started to realize I'm like, I should have been doing this stuff anyway. Like my number one thing I have to do is watch my sodium intake. And when I started looking at the stuff I had been eating or drinking for that matter, and realizing how much sodium I was taking in during the day, it doesn't matter if I have hypertension or not. I shouldn't have been taking in that much. I mean, I sincerely, those little like ramen soup things that you can buy
So
that
bad.
everyone loves so much, I was eating one of those a day, plus my normal meals. There's like 2,000 milligrams of sodium in one of those. I'm only allowed 1,400 milligrams a day.
All right, now let me ask you this. When you all cook, do you put salt in your food when you cook?
Courtney does. I do not.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. But let me open your mind to something. Amanda, a few years back, was diagnosed with a hypertension disorder. She was told she had to cut back on salt as well. Too much sodium in her diet. So we found Mrs. Dash. It is a seasoning, a salt-free seasoning brand. Let me tell you, they have a taco seasoning. It is a salt-free taco seasoning. We haven't gone back to any other seasoning. Like, it's fantastic. It's the best taco seasoning I've had.
I've tried it and I do like it. I will give that I like it. What I prefer to do though is I like to dry my peppers myself and find a recipe for like a taco seasoning or for chili powder or seasoning stuff like that, and just eliminate the salt out of that recipe
Mm,
for my own seasoning.
that's good.
Now,
That's
I don't do
good.
it very often because it is time consuming, but the Mrs. Dash is, if you need something that you're just going to grab off the shelf and buy, they are really good. But
Yes.
man, nothing beats making it yourself, even at that level. If you can make your own seasonings, it's always awesome and better.
I'm gonna be honest, the only time we've done that is we have a recipe for taco salad. We have a taco salad recipe that we just put in the spices to make the taco seasoning for it.
Okay.
But that's the only time we've ever done it. I'm not great with like measuring out the seasonings. Like I love to cook, but I suck sometimes at the measurings.
Fair?
Funny story. So I made peanut butter cookies recently for Christmas. I was like, I'm gonna make some peanut butter cookies. I'm gonna go see my mom and my brothers for Christmas. I'm gonna make some peanut butter cookies to take with me. I'm gonna use my sugar, my stevia, because I'm gonna make them diabetic friendly. What I failed to realize is how bad I suck at making things. And I pull these cookies out of the oven for the first time, and they're still like super gooey. And I'm like, these need more time in the oven. So I put them back in. Not even 10 minutes later, Amanda's like, hey, I smell something burning. And I'm like, oh no. And I pulled them out, and they look fine. And I flip them over, and they're black on the bottom. And I'm like, they can't be that bad. So I take a bite. And Amanda takes a bite. And I don't know what I did to these cookies, but they were the driest thing I've ever had. Like, they crumbled so bad. They tasted terrible. Needless to say, I went out and bought Kroger brand peanut butter cookies and took those with me.
Yeah, I feel you there. I can't bake. I can cook, like I can make on top of the stove type things. But I did a boxed mix of brownies the other day, and I ended up having to have Courtney come in the room and help me because I was doing so bad.
That's fantastic. We all have the things that we're proficient at, and sometimes it's just not cooking.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm proficient at procrastinating. Like, nobody procrastinates like me.
Do you have meetings that get rescheduled every week?
I don't, but I have scrapper craps that get made 2 hours before we record.
Well, hey, that's 2 hours before. That's still doing fine.
That's 2 hours before because I have to have lunch with Amanda, which is an hour.
Fair enough.
Oh man, this week has been weird.
Yes, it has.
Thank you guys again for taking a break with Steve and Nate. Don't forget to like and share the show wherever you podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at Steve Nate Break, on Instagram at Take a Break with Steve and Nate, or send us an email at stevenatebreak@gmail.com.